Greetings, one and all. This is Greg Peloquin, aka G Pelly.
And Naseef.
He's filling in for Evan Arkin, who once again is on to bigger and better things. All right, so for this match, it looks like we have Mark Shanafelt playing Bant Aggro and Robert Trippel playing Mono Red Aggro.
This should be a good match. Looks like Mark's got a lot of stuff that is hexproof, which is going to be hard for Mono Red to deal with.
Yeah, this particular list looks like Bob is rocking a Pillar of Flame, Searing Spear, Brimstone Volley, and then the usual assortment like Nobles, Rakdos Cackler, Ashelt. So this is one of the matchups I think being on the play is really important. I also think it's really important that I assume Mark has a bunch of like Pilgrims and one drops. Bob needs to kill those immediately and slow him down, slow Mark down, because things like the hexproof things and like smiters are really hard for this deck to deal with. It's really important to be on the play and get the early advantage.
I think Spectral Flight is going to be big game on Geist here. Card that is pretty unique. Tricks of the Trade. Putting that on Geist is also really good. A good way to push through damage where he doesn't have to worry about it getting blocked.
Yeah, it looks like Bob's deck just isn't built with these hexproof cards in mind. Like you have like Nightbird, not also Nightbird's clutches. Just a lot of this looks like honestly, I'd say Mark is probably the early favorite, but a strong draw from Bob can take the match too.
It doesn't look like there's too many ways for Mark to push out an early mana dork off of 3 forests and 4 temple garden, only like leaving himself 7 forests.
So he's got 3 forests and 4 temple. Yeah, it's only 7 ways to get a green creature. So like, yeah, that seems rough. I'd like to see more forests in the deck.
I would too. I think dropping some of the blue might be okay for him here instead of maxing out on the Glacial Fortress, Hallowed Fountains, and Hinterland Harbors.
Now looking at his list, he has Arbor Elf listed twice as a 4 of.
I would assume one of them would have to be the Ashland's Pilgrim, Avacyn's Program.
Yeah. So I'm assuming I think he's messed up. I don't think he actually has 8 Arbor Elf in his deck. I hope not. And yeah, like I like relegating blue to a splash in this matchup, and he's in the right, like 4 Hallowed Fountain, 4 Glacial Fortress. I'm not sure what how that really helps you.
I think Azorius Charm will be a big game for him to gain that life and get out of reach against the Mono Red.
Yeah, like that's huge. Like imagine putting like on turn 3 Geist, then turn 4 Spectral Flight, and then Azorius Charm Lifeline, gain 8 life and do 8 damage. That's about a big hole.
Absolutely, there's no way Mono Red could race that.
Yeah, like we're talking double Hellrider here. Okay, looks like Mark Shanafelt wins the roll. I think he had 2 digits. Says 2. Bob's 1 there. All right, so yeah, being in the play is important. Having that 1 drop is going to be key.
Let's see if he gets one of those forests and pushes out one of his 8 Arbor Elf.
Yeah, I don't think Mark's deck is very good at playing from behind. None of these decks really are. This will just be like a pedal to the metal type matchup. Fairly pre-match handshake. Some good sports there. So you see a Pilgrim, a Smiter, a Paladin, Righteous Authority,
Glacial Fortress, Temple Garden.
Fantastic handout. Fantastic. That's exactly what you want to see. So you paste a 2 there, and we got a turn 1 Pilgrim. Yeah, this is great. And then so now Bob really needs to kill that 1 drop here.
I think he has Glacial Fortress into Geist.
Or a Spider. That's a fin. Yeah, perfect.
Oh, yep. Very nice play.
Instead of playing the 1 drops, that is very important. I see a Mog Funkies in Bob's hand too, and Mark passes now because that sets him back a couple turns. That's so key.
That is very key.
Yeah, and you notice Bob had the 1 drops in his hand too, so excellent play there. He understands the dynamic very well. And then Ash Zealot there. Okay.
Rips the Temple Garden. I think Geist has to come in here.
Yeah. Or more Smiter's Brickwall his team. However,
First Strike plus Spear just gets rit of that.
Yeah, it's Bob has Spear in hand, right? So let's see if I think it looks like he has Spear in his hand. Yeah, there's a Spear there. Let's see if he bites. I'm not liking this pillar. Oh, okay, that's fine, I guess. Oh no, attack with the Ash Zealot. Because you have no good. Well, you could theoretically block here, but then all Mark has to do is put a Spectral Flight on something, or the Silverblade Paladin in his hand. And you're just in.
Even if he didn't have the Spear,
fantastic Paladin here. Well, you missed 2 damage. Like you could attack with Ash Zealot first, like you said, and then Spear.
Yeah.
Like now you can't block.
Yeah, and absolutely, and also like even if you didn't have the Sphere, you would push through because if he's gonna be scared of the Sphere, he's gonna keep the Smiter around to block.
Well, it's correct to not block there.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not gonna call his bluff.
Neither would I. Not against Mono Red.
No. All right, so he's got that. He's got Silver Paladin. So now looks like he's got a pillar for the Paladin here, and we can get back in for 6. So it's a good aggressive start here, and that puts so Bob's at 12, and that is a counter for the yeah. So you see this matchup somewhat non-interactive. There's also a couple spears and a Hell Rider in Bob's hand. So for 4 mana, and we have what? It's like Arbor Elf and a Geist.
That should be good. He needs to get some blockers down. He's way behind on this race.
Not necessarily, because if you place the Geist here, attacks for 4. Bob's at 5, and then the
Bob should go to 8 if he attacks for 4.
I take him to 8 here, and then just take the damage. Well, can you 7? No, you can't.
No,
you have to
because
block.
you get burned out.
Yeah, you have to. And Bob has 2 spears in hand, so it's correct to just spear Mark and then attack. I would just spear here.
Absolutely.
You really want to hit the Hell Rider here, the mountain for Hell Rider, but if you don't, that's perfectly fine. So
Geist is just such a good card against the format right now. So many decks just have a problem dealing with him ever since Phantasmal Image and Phyrexian Metamorph went away. I'm surprised he hasn't seen a lot more play in so many blue-white decks.
Yeah, like there's so many decks I play against where these FNMs where they play Geist, I just look at my hand and I go, "Yup, can't beat it at all." Okay, there's the mountain. So I would like to see a Spirit in the turn there. I take him to 7.
That should have been, and Hell Rider Crash here probably would have been put him in a
deep hole. Yeah,
he would have been forced to block with the Geist.
Yeah, and the Geist is not as much worse on defense.
Absolutely.
And that's what you want to do. You want to force Mark on defense. If whoever is blocking here is probably losing.
Absolutely.
So now Bob's considering his options. You can also have double spear, but again, Mark should be at 7, and then coming in for Hell Rider, and then it just gives him no good blocks. Well, I guess you could eat something with the Smiter, but even so, yeah, like he'd be down Smiter, nothing else, and he'd still be at.
I think Robert still has a pillar in hand as well.
I think it's 2. I think it's 2 spears.
2 spears?
2 spears and a Hell Rider. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so I still think Hell Rider's the play here because you want to maximize your mana. Spearing, the only thing you can spear is the Arbor Elf or Mark's face, and at this point, Spear Go is awful. Go might be acceptable to keep the Smiter back, and then you can. It's acceptable, but it's such a gamble against this deck because the guys can just wear a Spectral Flight, and all of a sudden you're
way behind, and blockers are irrelevant once you get Spectral Flight going.
Yeah, and we know there's tricks of the trade in Mark's hand here, but Bob's at least considering his options, so that's good. You got to run through what can he possibly have, and especially at the FNM level, they can have anything. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Yep, all in. Yeah. Okay, so there's 4 damage. Mark goes to 6. If he speared, Mark would be at 3 and have to make some bad blocks.
Absolutely.
So missing the spear here might cost him the game. It's possible.
Does it look like he can block and crack back for 12? He's tapped out. So he has 12 between, or he has 10 between.
Yeah, so our rough blocks here. That blocks Hell Rider. Yep, perfect. So you take 4, go to 2. Yep. And then Mark can have the tricks to trade, and that's game, I think. 6, 10. Yep, that's it. Mark wins. Mark should win.
Should win.
Yeah.
If he casts tricks of the trade. Or Spectral Flight.
So missing that spear was integral there. That in fact cost him the match. Yeah, you'll see here. There's the tricks. Yep. And there's a Righteous 32, but it's going to be a tricks of the trade. Yep.
There you go, Mark.
And we're done. Yep. Yeah. So Bob cost himself in that game by missing the Searing Spear.
Absolutely. Mark Shanafelt showing why Geist is such a good card still.
Yeah. Tricks of the trade, not just for limited kids. I mean, again, it's fun with like FNM and FNM level in general. People come at you from all angles with all things.
Absolutely, and I think Tricks of the Trade really is a unique card for the hexproof decks.
All right, so let's talk sideboard here. Well, what do we see in the sideboards?
For Mark, he has some Thrag Tusks. He has 2 of those and 4 Centaur Healers, which I'm assuming are coming in.
Yeah, that has to. Like at that point, I'd bring out how many Righteous 30s is he running? 2? No, 2 those should be gone immediately. And probably lose a couple increasing savageries here.
Yeah, I think that looks like what should probably come out. That way he could get in this life gain.
I'm also okay with the 2 paladins after the 2 smiters because the paladins die so easily. There's so much removal. So I like to see the smiters as good brick walls, Thrag Tusks, and Centaur Healers here. Just kind of become the Bant aggro deck in a way.
Yeah, trying to blank the Pillar of Flames would be really good. So yeah, I would definitely drop the Paladins for Loxodon Smiters.
Yeah. Now over here, I don't see a whole lot that interests me. Volcanic Strength isn't going to help you because he doesn't have mountains. Electrickery, I bring Electrickery here just because I can get rid of the idiot 1-drops.
What would you take out for the Electrickery? I think you don't want to take away from the basic deck that he has going.
Right, like Rakdos Shred Freaks maybe. I hate Shred Freak.
Shred Freak, it's a good game. It's Flunkies and Shred Freak is not a bad little thing going,
Yeah.
especially when you have Ash Cell. It makes your Mog Flunkies pretty potent.
Okay. So, let's see what we get rid of here then. Maybe some of like all this targeted burn is really bad against the hexproof deck. So maybe a couple Brimstone Volleys. Now, normally Brimstone Volley's sweet, but here you're only gonna go to the face, and so it's a situational glorified Lava Axe. Maybe you'll get a Smiter or something if you're lucky, but it's not where I want to be here.
I think you would, instead of dealing 3 with Brimstone Volley, bringing in Trader's Blood to steal the Smiter and attack back, forcing them to block might not be such a bad idea.
Yeah, and it looks like I'm not sure what this is. Rakdos Charm. I think that's Charm. It's hard to read his handwriting on this deck list. I'm not bringing in Flames of the Firebrand because there's again not targets you want to see here. And by the time you can cast, you only get 3 mana. They're going to have Smiters and other goodies in play. So not really where you want to be here. I think Trader's Blood's a good idea. So hopefully, have Centaur. Like even it's good against the Centaur Helix and Thrag Tusks too. It's a good way to go over the top of Thrag Tusk. Just turn it around back at him, right?
Absolutely. It seems Robert has played the match before. He sideboarded fairly quick. Knew what he wanted to do.
Yeah. So Marco won't be the control deck here. I mean, who's on the play is so important here too, because Mark won that match because he was on the play.
Absolutely.
I mean, again, you have 2 decks that are fairly aggressive. They're racing and they're not interacting with each other very much, and that's kind of what this particular version of Bant Aggro does. Is it says I don't want to interact with you, and then that's not always the worst because there's a lot of removal in this format. Like the Jund-based decks struggle to deal with deal with all the hexproof guys. In fact, to see another match, we'll probably do a little bit later, where I was playing a fork control deck with a lot of targeted removal against another Bant Aggro deck that had a lot of hexproof guys. And I had the same problem. I'm just staring at all this like targeted removal, and there's a giant Geist trapped on the other side of the board. And it's like, yep, can't beat this.
This format over the past couple weeks has turned into rock paper scissors. Cards are coming out of decks and going in to deal with the current meta, such as the red X spell that deals X damage. Miracle it. Bonfire.
Oh, Bonfire, yeah.
Yeah, had a brain fart there. Bonfire has to come back in once Geist starts seeing play again. It has to. It's pretty much Red's only way to deal with Geist.
You also have Rolling Tumbler.
Rolling Tumbler has been making its appearance in some of the more controlling decks.
Rolling Tumbler is terrible. It's the worst Pyroclasm variant ever. But work with what you have. You don't have Slagstorm. You don't have actual Pyroclasm. It's all you got. You gotta make, you don't have Fire Spout. You gotta make do. I mean, I don't think I've played it in the sideboard with a few controlling decks because Geist is so hard to deal with.
Absolutely.
And Invisible Stalker and friends.
I played recently against a player playing Bant, and it was a Bant control, but he sided into a more aggro deck with Geist, knowing that if I'm playing against control, I would most likely side out spot removal. And
right.
Even though Geist doesn't hit spot removal doesn't hit the Geist, he knew that he could just put in Geist and race me.
Right, and one of the big questions this format's been asking, and then now that Return of Ravnica Extended is becoming more developed, I feel the question is, here's Thrag Tusk, how are you going to deal with it? That's a big question, especially backed up with Restoration Angel. So there's a few things we've been seeing, like the Rakdos Aggro deck that's done really well in the Grand Prix as of late. It's one of the last couple of Grand Prix. It's like, okay, I'm gonna play Hell Riders and I'm gonna play Dragons. I'm gonna go over the top of it and not care. Now these Bant Aggro decks take another angle. They kind of do the same thing though, but they go, I'm gonna play some unblockables, make them huge, and you just paid 5 mana, gain 5 life. Nice Angel's Mercy. It's actually worse than Angel's Mercy in that situation.
It is, and the current format right now, pushing through Thragtusk, you have to take that into consideration when you're building a deck. Decks like Green-White Aggro have made it to the point where they're like, I will just beat you before you play your Thragtusk.
Right. You might play your Thragtusk, but oh, by the way, here's a Lockstone Spinner, Soul Bond to Silverblade Paladin with a Rancor on it.
And
good luck.
I'm gonna cast Sublime Archangel. This is turn 4. This is how we play Standard.
Yeah, good luck, bro. Yeah, so we're seeing more answers to the Thragtusk problem now. And Bob's deck is short on ways to do it, but the Trader's Blood's one of the few is one way to do it. To turn it around and hit them with it.
Do you like Trader's Blood over Trader's Instinct as it adds that +2 and gets back at you for 7?
But if he blocks, doesn't matter. Like if he blocks with an idiot, who cares? The trample is important that you get from this. Like I'd rather see the trample and 1 less mana.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean that's just like no. If I'm playing a deck that's playing other colors, maybe Trader's Instinct is better.
I think we're resolving mulligans here currently.
Yeah. So good. Bob keeps his, and looks like Mark's going down 2-6. Yeah. All right. So we give our metagame 101. Let's get back to the match at hand, shall we?
It should be another good game. Mark should look to be pushing out Geist, possibly getting Invisible Stalker with a bunch of enchantments on it.
Spectral Flight, Temple Garden. Looks like I can't see too much more after that. And that's a quick mulligan. Okay, so Mark's going down to 5 here. Not. This deck doesn't win. This is a. I guess the way to describe it is a Voltron deck because you're building your own monster with Mark's deck especially. You don't want to be mulliganing a whole lot because you end up with hands of like all lands and Spectral Flights or something awkward like that. So I see Hello Fountain. Okay, I'm keeping this no matter what. That's a keep. Yeah. Did we draw 6 there?
He drew 6.
Didn't he mull to 5?
Maybe he was just slow presenting his
okay,
deck.
That's fine. Either way, I'm keeping that. What?
Whoa!
You cannot. You're on the draw. You have.
He had a Thragtusk, a Smiter, 2 lands, and what appeared to be a Geist.
No, he has Azorius Charm. However, it's important to note he had Hallowed Fountain Forest, so we can't actually cast Azorius Charm with that configuration of lands. Even so, like I figure like drawing something there is going to be better. I don't see how 5s could be better here. I think was that 4?
Maybe they forced him to mulligan since he drew 6.
That might happen too. That's possible. Now, actually, they should have called a judge here because the judge would just shuffle in a random card and say, "Here you go."
And his hand was infinitely better than going down to 4.
Yeah, this is terrible. This should be over pretty quick. Oh, there's a Stalker over there.
Invisible Stalker coming in.
Yeah. Okay.
Still don't see it racing Mog Flunkies and.
Also, it's a human, so it's not even blocking the Noble there. And you're pretty far. We're pretty far behind here. Okay, so there's a mountain, and yeah.
He's taking 5.
Taking on the chin, so 14. Yeah, this is how quickly these decks can get away from you. We're unleashing. Anything else? Got Swimming Spear. Okay.
Yeah.
This should be pretty quick.
Hopefully, he has
there's a Centaur Healer. Okay. I got a thing here. And gain 3 in Spear.
Now is he going to get in for 1 and make this a race?
No. Like if he gets in for 1, there's no race because Bob is Swimming Spear.
There he goes.
Yeah. This is you're pretty far behind here.
Yeah, I absolutely would not attack there. Just because you want to live as long as possible, hoping to make it to Thragtusk most likely.
So block a Flunkish or something.
Absolutely.
So we're taking 6 here. It's 7, so we're at 9. That's not where you want to be. Okay, and there's a Traitor's Blood in his hands. Even if he hits Thragtusk, that's like the worst thing could actually happen to him. There's increasing savagery, so you go 7, have a 6/6 wall.
He took 2.
Yeah, from Temple Garden, from the untapped. He's in the math. Like the only possible thing you can do here. Oh, he's got a Geist also.
He wanted to play the Geist. Had to take 2 for the white source.
There's no Thragtusk in his hand. There's no Thragtusk. It's either Geist or increasing savagery. So you can't cast either with 2 Force and a Glacial Fortress. So it's so awkward mana here. And there's the Geist. Okay. So we're at 7. So the Geist is just going to be probably block the Noble. If it's lucky. Nice Nightbird's Clutches. Those really should come out for Traitor's Bloods. That's the easy cut.
Absolutely.
Those aren't blocking anything ever.
No.
Okay, so what do we do? Block trade with Cackler?
Take 5, go to 2. Just gonna get.
She's at 1. So that Trickery kills him. No, it's not creatures, but wow, no burn spell. Okay, so what's in our hand we're not playing?
The Traitorous Blood and.
So it looks like we have 6.
He grabbed the Azorius Charm. He could gain 6 life. It's pretty much irrelevant.
You're still dead, yeah, because it's got 4. He's threatening 7, 8, 9. So you can go to 7 and tracks back for 9, and he's dead. So it looks like we're going to game 3 here. Assuming Bob turns the creature sideways, we're going to game 3. But yeah, all his mulligans just killed Mark here. Yeah. Okay.
Mark wastes no more time.
Yeah, that's a foregone conclusion. Like, you really can't mulligan with Mark's deck. The fewer I see, the better.
Yeah, that was a shame on that 6 because it looked like even at that mulligan, he could have provided a close game.
Yeah. I mean, I would keep that every time there. Yeah, we would. No. So we know Mark drew too many cards, but when that happens, You call a judge, and what the judge will do at the regular REL level is take a random card and shuffle it back into the deck and let them resolve mulligans normally. Now, if you're playing in a competitive REL, the difference is like FNM is what's called regular rules enforcement level. It's just to teach. You don't want to be like rules lawyer people or make people people can make mistakes, and that's fine. This is where you hone your skills for the more competitive events such as Grand Prix and Pro Tour qualifiers and the like. So in this situation, since it's run at regular rules enforcement level, if you draw too many cards on a mulligan, you shuffle one random card. Now in competitive, where it's a little more, competitive. Excuse my poor choice of words. It's that number plus one, but it's not at this level. So again, the idea is to teach, and a lot of times people will draw an extra card by mistake. Now, what I do when I play, when I draw my cards, this is how I avoid this. I put my cards face down. I draw my cards. I don't just peel cards off the top of my deck. I'll put my cards face down the table first and just do a quick little mental note to compare the numbers, so I'm not accidentally drawing too many. And so that way, if I mulliganed, I don't just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up the top and then have to call a judge on myself. I can actually look and see, and that also gives my opponent opportunity to sometimes say, "Wait a minute, you mulligan, put a card back." I can do that with no penalty.
Yes.
So it's just a little checks you can do just to prevent yourself from extra penalties and that kind of thing.
And that was a dip into the rules book by level 2 judge Greg Peloquin.
That's right. And that might seem complicated, might seem unnecessary, but you play long enough, everyone's going to do that. Literally everybody will. Okay, so we're starting off here. Mark's on the play.
And I saw one land Arbor Elf in Mark's hand. I don't know if he's deciding on whether or not he wants to keep or not.
I see mountains. Hold up to the camera. I see 4 mountains, a noble, and 2 spears.
Yeah.
I think I keep that.
That seems like a keep to me.
Oh, he's mulliganing.
I like that hand. Stormkirk Noble gets out of hand fairly fast, especially when you have removal spells to back it up.
Well, not in this matchup, though. Like, those spears are kind of badly positioned because of Lockstone Spiders and Hexproof guys. So there's a lot of things that those aren't going to get. Like, I could, honestly, it's close. Like, I feel like I run so bad sometimes, or if I keep those kind of hands, I'll start nothing but mountains and be sad. But I could see keeping it. But in this matchup, I think, actually, now I'm thinking about it, mulliganing might be correct. Because those spears are not what you really want to see.
You want to see more guys?
Yeah, well, so the problem is, here's the problem. You're on the draw, right? So if you're on the play, you can go Mountain, Noble, go. He plays a 1-drop, land, spear, attack. But in this case, because you're on the play, he's going to have an opportunity to get his 3 drops down. You won't be able to stop him. And then you'll have 2 spears facing down like an Arbor Elf and a Smiter. It's just it's pretty awful. So I can defend the mulligan here.
Let's see if his 6 was
I see Cackler, some Mountains, Brimstone Volley. Okay, tap, Sun's Petal Grove, and a Cackler right out of the gates. Okay. So we got turn 1 tap land. There's an Arbor Elf, which can't actually... Oh, is that Pilgrim? Okay, no.
Nope,
yeah, so the Arbor Elf is actually useless here. There's no forests. You cannot untap anything. That's pretty bad. And there's even worse with Spear. So Mark's on the back foot immediately here. There's a Sigarda. Okay, and the Smiter. Okay, so
Smiter's good.
We got a brick wall here. That's good. That's what we want to see. Okay, what are we doing here? I see 2 Brimstone Volleys and a Searing Spear.
With Mountain as the last card in his hand?
Yeah. Okay, this is a rough position to be in. Because of nature of his deck, I like attacking here. I don't like it, but you have to do it.
And burn the Smiter with a spear?
Yeah. It's not where you want to be, but... Oh, he'd
already passed the turn.
Okay, right. Okay. And now we're in a deep hole here. We're in a real deep hole. Like, you have an Unleashed guy. What possible reason is there for not attacking? I think you need to bring it. So what are we doing here?
Spears him for 3.
This is not productive at all. I guess you can attack now, but you're going to take, what, 10 on the swing back?
Looks like 10 coming back at him, and that's assuming he doesn't play Spectral Flight or Tricks of the Trade.
This is real bad. Yeah, this is... Oh, man. Ouch. Yeah, this is... That was a threat test for there, too. Well, because why not, right?
Seems like Mark pretty much has this one wrapped up.
There's a 10 there, yeah. We deserve a threat test, don't we? All right. There's another... Our rough doesn't tap anything in a Pilgrim. Okay. Yeah, we've not won enough. We need to win some more.
Overwhelming the board. See, this is where Bonfire Wouldn't be too bad for him.
Well, I'll be down to Smiter.
Be down to Smiter.
Yeah, let's see some bonfires here. Wait, to the face, it goes to 10. Okay.
He could. Looks like I don't think there's a card in standard that he could draw right now to dig him out of this hole.
I don't think.
I think he's trying to bluff the bonfire.
Well, actually, you'd have game with Brimstone Vault with Trader's Blood.
Four,
you probably
five,
because you
six.
could like one more man you could force a block in Brimstone Volley, but that's not quite there. You're a little bit short here.
Actually, Trader's Instinct plus. Oh no, he would have blocked. He has some guys up there.
Yeah, so it's the elves we played last turn, or the 1-drops. There's Trader's Blood. Okay, well, it's a thing. So we're threatening 6, and even if he takes it all he has in hand, Stirring Spirit doesn't matter. So he takes 3, 4, 5. Yeah,
which is actually correct because
you know, so Mark manipulates the dice there. He misses, so he takes 3 more. But yeah, it's trample, so he takes 5. But all he has is a spear. It doesn't matter.
Is there only one card in hand?
It's a Stirring Spear.
Yeah,
which isn't good enough. All right, yeah. Oh no, it's a Brimstone Volley. No, it's a spear. Oh no, wait a minute. You can't Brimstone Volley. You only have. That's not enough.
Oh, he was just trolling him.
1 mana off. Okay.
Yeah,
there we go. It is a volley. Okay.
He's conceding, and Marcus Thragtusking the show.
Wait, I'm not done winning
yet. He's Thragtusking with 4 mana. Oh, he has some else.
All right, nice job, Mark. Shanafelt's Bant Aggro deck takes it down.